happening outside Amit Shah residence over Manipur unrest. So this comes after Amit Shah visited the state of Manipur to take stock of the situation. Remember, violence has erupted again in the state of Manipur, and now protests are happening outside Amit Shah's residence over the unrest in Manipur. Remember, unrest prevails in Manipur as two communities have clashed with each other. In the latest, 2 army personnel also died in this clash and 3 were injured. CNN News 18's Shireen is joining us on the story. Shireen, can you give us more details about these protests that are happening outside Amit Shah's residence?
Well, these are in fact the live visuals from outside the residence of Amit Shah, Home Minister Amit Shah, where all the protesters from Manipur have in fact been detained by the Delhi police. They have been told that this is a high security place and here no protest can actually happen, and that is why you can see this is one bus. There were 2 buses before this full of Manipur people from Manipur who are protesting outside the residence of Home Minister, and we will try and speak to some of the protesters who have in fact stayed back over here. Ma'am, with what demand have you come over here, ma'am?
We have come here to fight for justice for the cookies.
Okay.
There have been, in spite of the Home Minister visit on the 29th of May, till now, like the Home Minister have promised that there will be peace. But there was no peace. There have been attacks on the cookie villages. They have been killed. Innocent people have been killed. Even children are not spared. Even women are not spared. They have been raped.
Is this a memorandum that you are planning to submit to?
Yeah.
So these protesters are from the Kuki community is what they are saying. This is the memorandum with which they have in fact come over here, and they are planning to hand it over to the Home Minister. So you can see, because it's a high security place, more than 4 people can actually gather over here. So 4 people from the community are in fact staying back. There are chances that they will in fact be allowed to go inside the residence. But rest of the protesters or activists from the Kuki community have in fact been told that they have to in fact leave from here. They have been detained by Delhi police. But these are the visuals of around 4 of the protesters who are in fact staying back. You can see that there is in fact they are in fact staying back with a memorandum in their hand, and they will in fact be allowed to meet the Home Minister, is what we are being told at this moment.
Shireen, also, what is the current situation in Manipur?
Well, the current situation, of course, is still volatile. Of course, compared to what it was, in fact, 2 weeks back, it is much better. But at the same time, even after Home Minister Amit Shah went and met both the community leaders, he has met all the party leaders as well, the situation has in fact become much better. But there has in fact been instances of violence that is still taking place in Manipur. We have seen that yesterday as well. There were instances of violence that was in fact taking place. And regarding that, because this violence between the 2 communities, the Methi community and the Kuki community, there is in fact violence which is continuing, and these protesters have in fact told us that they are in fact from the Kuki community. Now, most of them in fact, while speaking to us, also told us that in their memorandum they have come up with points that needs to be implemented on ground in Manipur so that the violence don't take place. They also have been saying that there needs to be a president's rule to stop the entire violence. So on my right side, while there were over 100 protesters from the Kuki community who had in fact gathered over here, but they all have in fact been now told that they cannot protest outside Amit Shah's residence, and that is why only 4 of them in fact are staying back, and they have a memorandum in their hand, and they are in fact being told that they will in fact be meeting the Home Minister. So once they go inside, they will be submitting their memorandum where they in fact have been saying that there needs to be certain measures and protection that needs to be implemented on ground so that no more violence take place.
Also, Shireen, are there any political elements who are present over there?
Well, no, this is like one of the activists, the protesters who were gathered over here told us that they are, in fact, all of them are from the Kuki community, and there are no political leaders from any of the parties. But we know the kind of blame game that is, in fact, happening as far as the Manipur situation is concerned, because we know that the Congress party is also, in fact, taking a jibe at the BJP for failing to protect how the central government has been failing to protect the people people in Manipur. We know the kind of blame game that is in fact happening. But at the moment here, while the protest was going on, there is no representation from any political party. But these are in fact activists from the Kuki community. And now they, in fact, 4 of them have been told that they can stay back, and they are in fact present here with a memorandum. So anytime they will be allowed to enter. But the rest of the activists, the rest of the protesters who had in fact gathered over here have been told that they have to leave from here. Even now, even the media is not allowed because it's a high security area. You can see the entire road has in fact been barricaded. The Delhi police is not allowing the media also to in fact stay on this particular road. They have been told, they have told us to be on the other side of the road. So that is the kind of security that is in place, and more and more security is coming in place over here. The security is beefed up, keeping in mind how large of a group had in fact gathered over here. So now all of them have been detained. Only 4 of the representatives from the Kuki community are allowed, where they will be submitting their memorandum to the Home Minister.
Shireen, can you tell us about the memorandum that they will be submitting?
Well, yes, there is in fact a 15-point memorandum with which these protesters have in fact come in. Let me try to get the memorandum over here. So this is one of the press release with which the protesters have in fact gathered over here. This says demand for Home Minister Shri Amit Shah to act swiftly in the face of escalating attacks on Kuki community. And it basically says that innocent lives are being lost and homes are reduced to ashes and families have been displaced. And the Home Minister needs to recognize the gravity of the situation and carry out his responsibility by taking immediate and decisive action to stop the aggression and neutralize the threat posed to us and to restore the peace in the area. Now, this is just a press statement. There is also, in fact, a memorandum, around 10-page memorandum, with which these representatives have, in fact, reached outside the residence of Amit Shah. And if I ask my camera person to pan and show you the kind of security that is in place, you can see the kind of security that is in place, and they are in fact not allowing the media also to stand over here because we have been told that it is a high security place. So no media is also allowed, is what we have been told at the moment.
All right, Shireen, thank you for those details. We'll keep coming back to you for more updates. As of now,